Okay, cool. Yeah, so thank you for doing this with me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Sumo Cyco was actually one of my last concerts right before the pandemic hit when you guys were on tour with Wednesday.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I remember that very vividly. Yeah, being the last one, we just fit in there right before everything went to crap, you know?
Yeah, you guys like snuck that tour right before. I shot you guys at the Knitting Factory in Brooklyn, and that
Oh,
show
yeah.
was nuts.
I remember that show. That was the first show of the tour, actually. So I remember that was a fun one. Yeah, I kind of went crazy that night. I remember it was good though. Brooklyn's always crazy, you know. It's busy town and lots of kids coming out, so it's fun. Had a good
Yeah,
time.
no, it was a really cool night, and I didn't really know who you guys were. Apparently, I was sleeping on you guys, which I'm very sorry for because I
Okay.
had no clue who you guys were. You guys came out, I was like, whoa, like this is fucking ridiculous. And like my friend who went with me that night was like, he was late getting there, so he got there. I'm like, you missed like the dopest shit. He was just like, okay, calm down. I'm like, no.
That's awesome. Thank you. Glad you had
Yeah,
fun.
it was such a good set. I was really happy to like find you guys because I've shot Wednesday a bunch of times doing like photo stuff with like various tours and stuff. So it's always cool to find like a cool band like with somebody that I'm very familiar with their set, somebody else that's like new. It's like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Wednesday's great. Super talented guy, and yeah, he puts on a one hell of a show. So definitely was something we had to, live up to open up for bands like that. And so yeah, I'm glad you liked it. It's a little
Yeah,
bit different than Wednesday, but I feel like it has its own way of fitting in. It's like I like shows that have a lot of variety. That aren't all like exactly kind of the same artists that kind of switch it up a little bit.
right. Right. No, I totally agree because like if you go to like a death metal show, let's say, and it's all like just screamo the entire night, it's like I don't like this anymore. You kind of
Right.
get like even though I like that genre, I can still get very mundane after a while. So I think it's really cool to have different aspects of a thing because even like the 6 9 eyes that were on that, you guys aren't anything like them. Wednesday's not really anything like them.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
really
Yeah.
cool to have the variety.
Yeah, there he is. Just he said he has to pee and right.
You got to kill that bladder real quick.
Yeah.
No, that was cool though. No, the show was really cool. I was gonna do a couple more dates on that, and then like I had like a bunch of stuff come up. But that was a really fun tour, and yeah, I miss touring. I know you probably do too.
Yeah, 100%. Can't wait for it to come back. It's killing me.
I know. It's been a long year, but hopefully I'm seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully at this point, so
Yeah,
fingers
fingers
crossed.
crossed.
Fingers crossed that we're hopefully getting out of this now. But you guys do have a new record on the way. It's coming out next week, I believe, on the 7th.
Yeah.
So how stoked are you guys to have new music coming out?
Oh, it feels good. I mean, it's given us, I think, a lot to do and to give us some focus during this time because the beginning of the pandemic, I was just like a chicken with my head cut off. Like, what do I do with my life if I'm not trying to get on another tour? And so having the music to focus on, having the release and working on the videos, it's been great. It's been a good way for us to get through this time. And I'm really excited because some of these songs, they've been ready to go since like 2018. So it's been a while, quite a process too, with having tours like the Wednesday and 16 Eyes tour, also touring with Ginger in 2019. We were just swamped with really cool opportunities. 2019, early 2020, that kind of pushed back our recording. So we actually had anticipated that we were going to jump back in the studio around March, April 2020, and then what do you know? Like everything happens, and we're stuck here indefinitely in the studio. So it gave us a little bit more time than we thought to work on things, and kind of helped us. Make I think a better record in some ways because we had more time to really put into it than we would have if we were just jumping back on another tour. So yeah, so it feels good. I'm excited to have everyone finally hear the material. And yeah, what do you think, Maddie? Having the record come
sorry
out?
about that.
Which way am I pointing the camera? This way. There you are.
Hi.
Gotta lean in.
How's it going?
Good. It's going good, man. It's going good. We were just talking about the new album you guys have coming out next week.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work, but we are finally excited to finally release it. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, what's your name?
Emmy. My
Emmy.
name's Emmy.
Nice to meet you, Emmy. I'm Matt. Pleasure.
It's all good. It's nice to meet you. I actually was telling Sky, I actually saw you guys on the Wednesday 13 tour in 6 9 Eyes
Cool.
before you hopped in. So yeah, no, I didn't meet you guys at that show, but I remembered seeing you and I thought your live set was really cool. So
Thank you. Well, thanks for the support. Just
Yeah, thanks.
getting the word out for us. We appreciate it.
yeah, for sure. I don't know how I was sleeping on you guys because I noticed I guess I'm kind of jumping around my notes here, but I noticed you guys have been around and doing this stuff for like a while now. So I don't know how you guys kind of slipped into my radar there, but I'm glad I finally discovered you guys.
I think a lot of it's we kind of voided a label world and even America a bit for a while. When we first started, we started in Europe more. So I think we did slip under the radar for a while for a lot of people because we started pushing in Europe first. So we're really starting to get, I don't know, what have we done, 4 or 5 American tours now? So I feel like we're still real new to America and getting into that scene down there. So it's really cool for us. It's amazing getting to know so many new people.
Right. You guys are based out of Canada, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. What part of Canada? I don't really remember.
We're in Hamilton
area.
Yeah,
There's okay, that's what I thought. My best friend, one of my best friends, lives in Toronto, so I didn't know if I was confusing the two. But no,
we're about an hour out of Toronto.
It's a little more country vibes where we live. We're kind of out of the city, but we're still close enough that we still consider it kind of like a home territory for playing shows and stuff like that.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I've heard great things about Canada. I have a lot of friends that live up there actually from when I used to work in hockey, not trying to be very stereotyped there. It's just that's what it is. I know a lot of hockey players.
We're a very, very hockey oriented country, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's very stereotypical, and I hated to do that, but I just know a lot of Canadians because of that. I've never been up there, but I've heard great things about Toronto and Montreal and that whole kind of.
Yeah, technically what it is we're Hamilton, Toronto, and then Montreal's another 5 hours east. And we're technically outside of Hamilton. So I don't want to say we just represent Toronto. We represent Hamilton and Toronto. They're both our home kind of bases.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I kind of know the geography a little bit with that because there was a minor league team in Hamilton that my friend used to play for. The
Bulldogs. They're super, super popular here.
Yeah. So he used to bounce between because I think they were in the same system as the Maple Leafs in Toronto for a while. And for some reason, the feeder team was Wheeling, West Virginia. I don't know why. I don't make the rules with that, but yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you, John. I love him. The Creatures Camp's my second family, pretty much. So
what a great performer. I was lucky to see him. Obviously, when he was playing with Rob Zombie, I saw Rob Zombie play, and he was playing guitar for Rob at the time, and it was just amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, John's been with him for a long time. He still plays with him. I don't know. Have you ever seen him with the Creatures and all his solo projects?
I know it online, but I've never seen it live. Rob's the only one I've seen live. John 5, obviously I've seen his stuff. He's all over the net. What a player. Mm-hmm. When I saw him live with Rob, I thought it really blew me away. Just especially how much he can shred while he moves around. He's just an onstage performer.
Yeah, no, he's totally insane. I've been doing photography on and off with him since 2017. He's really cool. He's such a sweetheart, so humble. I love him. Yeah, I would not be anywhere where I am with my photography stuff or anything like that without him. So yeah, I adore that man and the whole camp over there. They're my family.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, John's great. And he's such a talented guitar player too. Like you said, he just is running around playing Super Beast with Rob, and I'm just whoa, you need to calm down.
Yeah, he's a crazy guitar player.
Yeah, no, it's totally nuts. Oh my god. So getting back to kind of you guys for a second. So you guys have 3 singles out right now. The newest one being Vertigo, and you guys dropped a video for that one. The video is fucking nuts.
Thanks.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about how filming for that kind of went.
Yeah, so Matt and I kind of take on the big task, especially in the pandemic. We had no other choice to make our own videos, and we love doing the visual side as well as obviously the music side. To me, it kind of goes hand in hand. And so for Vertigo, I came up with this crazy concept last summer. We actually started filming it and kind of prepping for it last summer. So for instance, we have this, we called it the tree, which is like this just big pile of junk that Matt put together for me. We were like spray painting all the elements, and our neighbor is like an electrician. So whenever he has like discarded light fixtures, or he had these bullhorns that he was taking off for this one client, and he's like, hey, I was going to just bring this to the scrapyard. You guys want it? And we're like, sure,
Yeah,
we'll make some stuff out of this. So
awesome.
yeah, we just keep collecting stuff, and you know, there's TVs in the video, and our big tree that I stopped Matt. We're driving down the road. I'm like, TV on the side of the road. They're gonna throw that out. Let's grab it, you know. And we're very kind of resourceful in that way of always kind of everywhere we go, everything we do, we're always thinking about the band and trying to use random objects here and there to, you know, make some creative art out of it. So yeah, it came together pretty well. It was one of the more extensive as far as like set building, since we had so many different kind of looks throughout the video. But thankfully, with the help of a family member who hooked us up with this cool old garage we were able to film in, and Matt putting in the hours, Oscar came to help too with the set building. We put this thing together, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
I think it's another reason why we kind of flown on under the radar in some ways, because like we've been touring for years, and but our main thing is like we really took pride in our ridiculous, we call them like campy horror videos. If you ever go back, there's tons of them in our back collection, and we pride ourselves in trying to up the level of the video making just as much as the songs these days. So Sky is like really honed in on our craft, really wants to like, you know, always push herself. So we always, you know, we've kind of built like this really cool cult following under the radar without a label, with these kind of culty, weird home style music videos that we've made over the years. We've done about 20 of them or something.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, if you go back to the catalog. So that's where I say like we did kind of fly on the radar for some worlds, because we've had this nice following for the past bunch of years that work with us, and people that care about us and all our weird music videos. And Vertigo is almost like this pinnacle, like this peak of like the furthest we've ever taken a music video, I guess, quality wise or time wise that it took for us to put together. Maybe Fighter, we had one other video that took a long time, but
yeah, it's, to us, it's all about building a bit of our world out, and a lot of the concepts
and people understanding that we do it ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's very important to us.
You know.
Yeah, I think that it's important to us because just like, you know, songwriting is super important to some artists, where they're like, you know, I want to be more than just like, you know, the performer of this music. I want it to feel like it's coming from me and my experience. And I feel that way with the visuals. Like, I really feel like it's important that when people experience Sumo Cyco, especially if a music video is the first time they're ever hearing us, which in the pandemic mostly is the case.
Yeah.
You know, we want to make sure that what they see is an extension of us as artists, and not, you know, a different, you know, vision from someone outside of our circle. And I think it's also been a weird blessing in disguise that we've been working on our video making craft for so long, because when you get isolated in a situation like the last year where we're not, you know, allowed to be on production stages and stuff with other people, being able to do it DIY in like a garage or in our attic has definitely helped us keep up making those videos without, you know, having to compromise because we can't, you know, get a crew together. So, you know, a lot of the stuff is done, Matt and me, just the two of us.
Yeah, Sky was sitting on the couch last night just editing away on the next video, because we have another one coming out very soon. And we started filming it a month ago. Actually, 2 months ago, we filmed one scene, and then so on and so on. But like, I was building a set 2 weeks ago. Into the set, Sky and I shot. The two band members showed up, and it was like the four of us shot one day. Then the next day, it was Sky in another outfit on a green screen, and then she goes to town just editing, effects. You know, it really is very in-house, just the two of us mostly. Especially because of the pandemic right now. We have a couple other crew people that we just can't even involve because of this lockdown that we're in.
Right. No, I totally get that. I think that's super creative and super cool. I kind of got tossed into doing like video work with my boyfriend's band, because he had a couple covers he needed videos for, and he's like, we can't really hire a crew. Like, we're in a pandemic. What are we gonna do? I'm like, well, I have a 4K camera that I use photos for. I guess we're gonna do videos. So yeah,
it looks good too on 4K, like something like that. I mean, dude, that's what we just do stuff like that with our music videos. Sky and I were looking at her new iPhone that she just picked up. The cameras on that, like I was like, man, you can just make a music video if you don't have the budget, as long as you've got a good idea. I mean, just start shooting and get it up there, because it's more about getting out there, not more about how incredible the high budget is.
Mm-hmm.
If you're worried about trying to make the thing with such a high budget, you'll just be sitting there always wanting to get it made, not actually get it made half the time. So like for us, we always see all the things that we still could better ourselves on. And we're always like, but you know, how far will you take it? And remember that it is a music video, so you're trying to get the song out as well. So you got to move. And I think that a lot of cameras this day and age, if you put a good idea together, you can do it by yourself, you know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think that's a great thing with the pandemic going on, because like you said, and even people like you guys seem to be super creative and super visual with what you want. And I feel like trying to get that to a director sometimes isn't the easiest thing. Trying to get someone to
It's almost impossible.
in your eyes.
Yeah, it's almost impossible. Sky's brain is almost impossible to understand. So even when she's trying to tell ideas, it's like she just starts going off, and you just start shaking her head, going like, I'm still on, you know, step 3 that you told me, and you're on step 67. You need to, and I couldn't even imagine trying to hand those ideas to somebody else and hoping that they're going to come out the way we make them happen. Even if they were a nicer quality, they wouldn't come out as elaborate, and they wouldn't be as detailed, because the quality, that's what happens, is you sacrifice when you're trying to get it to look like $1 million, then you're starting to pay into that world of like, we've got to be time consuming to make shots happen. Whereas Sky likes to shoot real fast. She wants to get so much in. And so there's this little bit of quality we actually let go of because we want to get more in detail and story and design. So like the last video was like 6 different set designs, I think, or something. It was a long video.
Matt's like, Sky, we could have made like 5 videos out of all the sets you made us do for one video.
And
like,
that's the truth. I said that to her. I was like, you know, it is true though. Like other bands could have broken that up and gone, these are 2 great sets. We could just go back and forth between these 2 sets for a music video. And with 6 sets, we've got 3 music videos here. Like I said to this guy, we could have broken all this up with these 2 sets and just did a video. But I also get the concept that that's what I mean, is her brain is just like, no, this is all supposed to be in one video. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's just good for setting the bar even higher for the next one. So I don't know what we're gonna do next, but
no, that's cool though. It's cool to be able to see, like, as a photographer, I kind of relate to that in a way of when you have something in your head and it finally like comes out, you're like, no, this is what I envisioned, and this is so fucking dope. And it's always the most, like, I guess, rewarding thing. And I don't care how many views or likes I get on Instagram. Like, it's the most rewarding thing to get, like, to see what was in your head, like, actually, like, in front of you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, no, it's really dope. But yeah, that video turned out really cool. And I really honestly would have had no clue that was like kind of I don't want to say DIY, but kind of like you guys did that yourself. I would have no clue if you told me that. So I think that's really cool. You guys should definitely.
If you have time, if you ever take a few minutes, there's Sky and I just put out a behind the scenes making of it.
Okay.
So you can see, you can
it's on Napalm
as well.
Yeah.
And you can see how we made it. It's a 10-minute video behind the scenes. We do that to most of the videos so that people can see what we're trying to create. Like we had a video called Bystander two songs ago.
Yeah.
Same thing. A lot of creative stuff went on in that video, and we put a behind the scenes out for that too, so you can see just how wacky what we do to make this happen. Lots of green screen stuff, Sky jumping, hurting herself, lots of weird stuff like that.
I feel that. Oh my god, no, that's really cool though, and I'm really happy to see that. And I also, getting back to Vertigo for a minute, I noticed that you guys worked with Kane Shurko, and hopefully I'm saying his last name right, as a producer on that. What was it kind of like working with him? Because I know he's like helped produce like some Papa Roach stuff.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, we're like you said, we pride ourselves in that DIY label. We love that DIY label. We have our own studio here at our house. We film everything ourselves, but working with Kane was like, you know, moving things up to like, you know, what people I think imagine when they think of a band going into a studio. We flew into Vegas. He has this gorgeous recording studio, like massive board. You know, usually I say Matt and I like wake up, we're in our underwear, like writing songs, but like, no, this is all like professional, gorgeous studio, total vibes. Like when you go to a new place like Vegas, you know, where you're out of your comfort zone, it kind of brings like some inspiration and kind of like excitement to the whole thing. And we had 2 weeks to work with Kane. We had never met him before, but knew we were going to walk out of the studio in 2 weeks with 2 songs. And we're like, this could go, we don't know which way this is going to go. We could gel really well, or we could like clash and have completely different ideas about what we want to work on. But thankfully, Kane is kind of half Canadian. So it almost like and his dad I knew from back in the day. And like all these things happened, like where we were just like, man, we relate with this. We relate with this. And it just like, we became like fast friends really quick. And so it luckily worked out where we're super happy with working with him. He taught us a lot when it came to the production side. He was really cool with Maddie, because Maddie's produced the rest of the record, and they swapped tips, and it was really cool. And he definitely gave us, when I think I listened to the 2 songs Overdrive and Vertigo from the album that we worked with Kane on, you can definitely kind of feel that like outside perspective, honing in on the writing and the format, I think, in a little bit more of like the getting to the meaty parts first. Whereas sometimes, as a band, we like to be a bit self-indulgent here and there when it comes to like, let's just like ride that riff a lot because we just love it so much. But, he has that outside perspective. Like, nope, we just play it once and then you're back into the chorus. He has that more refined kind of, producer mindset. And would you agree with that, Maddie?
Sure.
Yeah, no, I think that's really cool. It's cool to, as I fully support everyone doing like DIY stuff about that, but I think it's cool when you can kind of work with a producer that kind of knows, that can kind of help like redefine stuff like that and make it, I don't want to say more radio friendly, but you know what I'm trying to say.
No, that's
what it is.
That's what it is. We're not the kind of band that like shies away from telling the truth about what we're doing. Like, we've been growing for years. That's what we did. We set our sights on like hit the road, meet as many people as we can, stay away from problematic businesses that, no potholes. And we did a really good job. And then we met Napalm, they're involved, and we thought, hey, if we're gonna go with a label, let's do what we know is the next step, is try to write a song that might get onto commercial or rock radio. So we've never really done that. And it was interesting working with somebody that kind of helped corral our ideas together, that's for sure. Because like there's spots in the song where I've said to this guy, I was like, I would never let that happen, like by myself, without this guy here. This would never have happened this way, or this. And I'm like, that's probably why we're there, is so that I won't let it happen this way. I want to see what'll happen this way. And I think it's turning out pretty good. We're getting tons of good feedback and tons of weird feedback too, because we're also getting some weird metal elitists that do not like our blend of kind of weird metal
with the pop,
with our weird pop, and our all attack. The way we attack everything is not the same way a metal band would, right? And it's
right.
Excuse me. So we're getting some like really good and bad vibes at the same time, but it's outweighing, all the good vibes are outweighing everything bad. It's exactly what we were kind of expecting to happen. So it's been really interesting being on this metal label, like, as well, because they knew we were going to shake things up what we were about to do. And it's been really interesting watching just how many people are paying attention, because Napalm keeps going, this is great. And we keep saying some of the elitists just are not happy about this weird pop metal electronica dancehall punk thing that we're doing.
Throwing in a curveball.
Yeah, we're throwing this curveball in, and it's been really interesting. It's actually quite unique time right now for us to like go through our YouTubes and go through all these comments and learn, the people that like it, the people that are connecting with us, the people that are scaling with us, and the people that we don't want as fans any more than they want us as a band, kind of thing.
But I do think it's a little bit ironic, talking about, being a band for the last 10 years and, being in that kind of more self-indulgent mind frame that probably those guys would have preferred.
Yeah.
But by the time we've been through this thing for 10 years and finally like, what are we going to do now? Maybe we should try something a little more commercial. And that's the first thing that they hear. And then they're like, oh, we hate this. I'm like, man, we've been at this for a long time. You didn't pay attention to any of the stuff that you probably would have liked a lot better. But this is what it took to actually reach those people. It's kind of funny to me, but whatever.
Right. No, everyone, like, it's weird how, like, you could be, like you said, grinding at something for that long, and then you put something out that they don't like. It's like, oh, I don't like this. It's like, you guys just want to be haters. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it is. We kind of knew that there was going to be some backlash, especially because of Sky's imagery. Sky's not the big, you know, the kind of girl that just wants to like throw on a pair of, you know, leather pants or a leather jacket and go the, you know, old school rock kind of look as well. She loves her color.
Yeah,
and
very
her
bright colors.
set designs and her costumes. She's into, and I like that too, to be honest. I love performers. I love Lady Gaga's and Pink. And all these artists that are out there that push the boundaries of art as well. And some people don't consider it art. They get pissed when a girl shows shoulders or midriffs. They're like stuck in the, I don't know what
Stone
era
Ages.
it is
Yeah.
that people get so bent. Watching men get upset that a girl can be talented but shows a bikini top on, it's just, it blows my mind. I guess, unfortunately, the word misogyny a bit that we still have in 2021, because I consider it art. I mean, you know, I go onto so many music videos that not necessarily are metal, but tons of music videos out there, and there's so much skin and lots of weird ideas, lots of racy ideas, but in the metal community, they're really upset if we show.
I feel like my next video, I should do some type of Nicki Minaj twerk session and see if I can really piss everyone off.
It's like the guitar solo, and it's just like you like twerking with a snapback on.
And I think it's I think the biggest, funniest thing about it is like a lot of guys, some of the people that are getting bent about it are like, that's so the label pushing them this way, and I'm like, they have no clue. Just like, this is Sky's brain. The label knows nothing about what we're doing. They literally are on our plan with us. So it's like we don't send them treatments for the videos. They got online with us, and half the reason I think they signed us is because they knew we were so independent. We knew what we were kind of running, and they were like, we just have to jump aboard and market this, guys. So they don't have a say that. Not that we wouldn't listen to them if they did, but they don't seem to feel like they need to correct anything that we're on. So it's really interesting when somebody's like, that's so manufactured. I'm like, yeah, in our house, we recorded all of it ourselves. Sky came up with all the ideas and the costumes. It's super manufactured right by the two of us. And it's really funny when I see somebody think that it looks like a major label that put it out.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny with that, because like I can't obviously speak for every label, but I've had friends that were signed to different labels and they don't know what the hell is going on. They're just like, okay, you guys are putting this on, all right, cool. Like, everyone acts like in the metal community that they're like getting like ruled with an iron fist. It's like, that's never, like, at least in my experiences, that's rarely ever what's going on.
And that's what's really weird, is to see somebody say that they think we're being told to, Sky's being told to, you know, be in a bathtub of glitter. You know, I'm like, that's not them telling her to do that. That's Sky's idea. I even tried to say that idea. I was like, Sky, dude, like, isn't this like super crazy pop? Like, isn't
messy,
this something like
on top of everything?
Super messy, super out there? Isn't this something I'd see like Christina Aguilera do? And she's like, yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay. She's like, that's what we are. That's our metal, is we do this crazy imagery. And I was like, all right. And it was freezing cold the one night. It was pouring rain. It was nothing pretty about it or sexy about shooting it. It just came together. And what's really cool is if you watch the behind the scenes, you'll see how Sky made that. And it's literally just a tub sitting in a backyard. And everything else is just post effects that Sky put on herself. Like, no label was involved in that. The only thing the label has been amazing for is helping support us and market it.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. And I feel like you guys definitely got hooked up with the right label with that too. That's kind of like, okay, you guys go do your thing and we'll like help push it. I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah,
good. Me too. And the fact that they're still, you know, so behind us, and anytime that they've seen any negative pushback, they always come to us and say, guys, don't change because of the haters. Like, just keep doing what you do.
Yeah, and they've actually said, like, would you like us to maybe filter out some of the hate, like on Instagrams and all this stuff, because some of the hate that's coming in, we can see how like mentally it can be stressful to read stuff. And we were like, nah, we got thick skin, let that shit roll, man. Like, I like pissing these people off. Like, there's no point. They're never gonna like us anyways. Those kind of people that say that kind of comments, you're never winning them over. They're into only a certain kind of thing, and that's it. So let them talk, and let the people that care about us, you know, fight back and all be involved. And I think it's that's what freedom of speech is anyways. So it's so the Napalm's like, okay, here we go. And they've been pretty cool about it, and they're always on our back, you know, on our side, just checking up on us mentally as well, making sure that we're okay because of some of the hate that we get.
Right. No, that's cool. I think that's a good thing. And I think anytime you're getting hate, that means that you're doing something right too, in a way.
You're saying. So we're like, because we started to each other, what was it, like 4 days ago or 5 days ago? We went to each other. Scott, we had one night, it was just like a blowout. Like, Scott and I just were like just at a bit of a stressful night, you know, you just have too much because we're running our own store, we're doing this, we're doing that. Sky's cutting the videos, we just are just 24/7. And then you wake up and
some comment was like, oh, this just got manufactured in my face by this label. And you're just like, they don't get it. Like, this is us. We're working our butts off to try to make this happen. So,
and yeah, it can grind to you, especially in COVID, where it's like, we can't prove to our, you know, half the reason our thing is we've survived for so many years under the radar because of touring. Like, we've just been that band that we worked out our set and we know how to rock a crowd and win a crowd over. Even if you're not even into this music that much, by the time we're finished, you usually go, oh, I gotta check this band out. And it's been really hard not being able to tour to support this yet, because that's what I was hoping is like, oh, we'll put the record out. Even if there are some haters, they have a choice. They can come and check this out and see what we're really about. But we can't do that yet. And that's been one of the real things, is like, we got to win them over on our YouTubes. We got to win them out there with doing our art. And it's been really interesting watching us, this push and pull thing with some of the people out there. It's been very interesting.
Yeah. No, I actually could kind of relate to that in a weird way. I did like new artwork right before, it was like right at the start of the pandemic, and it was like to promote the podcast, because obviously being stuck at home, I was going to have more time for it. So I did like this whole like body, like the black tape, like body thing. I think you know what I'm talking about. And I put it up with like the logo and stuff, and like it was a mix between "this is awesome" and then like, Emmy, what the hell are you doing? I'm not listening to your podcast anymore. This is too provocative. And I'm just like, but it's artwork. Okay.
And you kind of have to make a choice. You have to make a choice in your own moral opinion and like, you know, self opinion of like, are those people worth having
right
as a follower or as a fan? Because if you start placating to that all the time, you'll just go nuts, because there's always somebody who's going to hate something. So it's like, if we started just going way more metal, Sky started doing death metal singing, there'd be other people that would come at us and say, look, they just changed for this and they went this way or they went that way. So you have to kind of have in your head, it's like, if I am going to rock the boat, I have to be comfortable with the consequence. And we're comfortable with our consequence, that's for sure. We don't really want any of the misogyny and some of the hate anyways. Those people aren't involved in it. You should feel that same way in your podcast. You're like, if I'm putting out a piece of art that I'm comfortable with, and you literally are telling me that you don't want to watch me because of this, see ya.
Yeah.
I really don't need a person like you involved with me. That's the way you should be feeling, I think.
Right. I think that this turned into like a pep talk hour. I like that.
Emmy, can you tell that we need to get a lot off our chest? I was like, we're just talking and talking.
COVID world,
like,
it's COVID.
Support group I needed. Okay, we should do this weekly.
You know, in this COVID time for us especially, we're in complete lockdown. I don't know if Sky explained that, but we're right now like
months and months in on this thing. We're starting to go a little crazy over here.
We're up until May 20th. We're not even allowed to go into parks right now. We're not allowed to see
wow.
Only grocery stores that are open. That's it. Even like our Walmarts, for back in the day when it was lockdown, you could go into Walmart but still get everything. But they actually closed all the sections down in Walmart but the groceries, because the government was feuding with people about how the big box stores were still allowed to keep open everything. So now you can't even go. I went to go get a couple things for our video shoot, like rope and some spray paint. And I was like, I can't get it. Like, I have to order it no matter what. So there was a lot of, we're really starting to understand just how we're starting to go a little cuckoo with just how much we're not interacting with people. Besides from it, that's why we'll start talking away when we get interviews. We're like, oh, there's somebody new. And we're get out of my way. I got to talk to this person.
Oh my God, I love that. No, I think that's been a good thing. And the one thing keeping me sane through all of this is being able to like have the podcast and be able to still connect with people like you guys that like I saw pre-pandemic, but obviously didn't get a chance to talk to or anything like that. So it's really cool to be able to at least do this virtually. But yeah, the US is starting to open up a little bit. I'm back to work. My day job's I'm a cook. So I've been back to work for a long time now. But yeah, no, I didn't realize that Canada was still like that, like severely like in lockdown.
We blew it on the vaccine ordering. There was some pretty the government made some mistakes. I don't like to diss. This is not like some normal thing that happens every other year for a government to deal with. So I can understand the amount of tape and red tape and all the problems that are going on with something like that. So I don't like to diss the government, but yeah, we're behind compared to like the UK and America. We are definitely, our numbers are really high and not in control, especially not in Ontario. The East Coast are like America. They're running straight. The East Coast is killing it. but not in central Ontario and central Canada. We're in a bad place. We are getting the vaccines rolled out. We can start thinking about getting one soon and applying. But even though we're getting the vaccines, they've put such a major lockdown because the hospitals are just so full of sick patients, unfortunately.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I didn't realize that like part of Canada was still like that messed up. That's crazy.
A good part of it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate. Yeah, down here it's starting to feel like a little bit semblance of normalcy. I keep seeing like some American dates like being like rolled out for some bands. I know Buck Cherry just like announced a tour or something. So I'm hoping that everything can get back to normal and everyone can get their vaccines. I think I'm due to get mine in like a month-ish. So hopefully, I've been seeing some friends getting them. So hopefully everything's good.
Yeah, I have to apply for mine still.
Yeah, Matt meets the age threshold. I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah, I'm older, so I meet the threshold. I just got to find out if I'm eligible because of my
zip code.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know how they're really doing it here because I moved in February, like from like one state to another. So I'm not sure. Like the other one, they were still doing restaurant workers, but I don't know if I don't think they're doing restaurant workers yet in Pennsylvania. So I'm kind of like,
Yeah, all the rules.
I just keep my fingers crossed that it's just all working out. I believe that it's going to be a long road still. I do believe that by 2022, though, we're going to see some proper touring, proper things starting to work, slowly but surely. I still think we're going to be fine a year from now or so. We've had some tour offers as well by the end of the year, some Europe stuff, and they're in that place where they think they're going to go ahead with stuff. I don't know if they will. Good luck if they do, but I do think that we will see an end to this, even if it is a little longer than what people are probably hoping it will be. I think next year we'll see some pretty cool tours opening up, I hope.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. We'll get back out there.
Same. Hopefully, I'm going nuts. It's the most I've been in. Probably the same for you guys. It's the most I've been home in such a long time. It's like, wait, what am I doing now?
I've been thinking about the weird timing age thing that's happening because we have done COVID for 13 months. There's like this thing for us as a band. Like we've been on the tour. We were on tour for like 5 years almost, just off and on, like every 3 months, just tour. So there's like, a lot of photos, a lot of time captured, a lot of history captured. And then there's this like mark where it stopped and there's no touring photos. There's no nothing. But then like 13 to wait, maybe by the time we actually get on tour, almost 2 years pass. And I'm going to be seeing photos of me and this life of like almost 2 year gap. It feels like I have not posted a lot. I haven't, really followed besides from our music videos. I just feel like it's almost like it doesn't exist, those 2 years.
Yeah,
it's going to be really weird.
It's a weird thing. Yeah.
Like I'm jumping forward 2 years and I feel like I've aged 2 years and it sucks because I didn't get to use those 2 years to do some fun touring and jumping off speakers.
I feel like I've aged probably 10 years, but yeah, I could feel that. I'm like that old lady now. My best friend keeps telling me I'm domesticated since I haven't been on tour.
I was really proud of
it. At like 11 o'clock, like watching horror movies or like serial killer documentaries with like a fuzzy blanket on the couch, like falling asleep at like 11.
I was super proud of the fact that for a while there, I lost like a really good amount of weight while I was on tour. I was looking pretty good. COVID hit about 6 months in. I gained it all. About 2 years of like touring, looking good, feeling good, just gone in 6 months of just like, there's just add 25 pounds on me. And now I'm happy. I'm getting back, but it took a long time for me to get back into that. All I did was just sit around, just eating food like a bored. TV.
Yeah, no, I totally feel that. I actually had I lost 20 pounds right at the beginning of the pandemic, and then I gained 30, and then I lost most of it back down. I think I still have 10 pounds to lose or something like that. But yeah, it was weird. I was very up and down with my weight through the whole thing. It was strange.
I feel like Sky and I just partied. We were that first couple months, we were just, we don't know what's going to happen with the world. I guess it's just on hold. That's how we thought. And it was just as much bad food and liquor that we could pour into ourselves for a month and a half. It felt like, no? What, are you shaking your head?
Well, at the beginning, I remember it being just complete anxiety, confusion, not knowing what's going on. And then when summer hit, we kind of fell back into let's just drink every night and have fun because we can't do anything else. And then, and then we started getting our lives on track, being like, okay, maybe we should like make use of this time
and the label
properly.
call. The label call was like, okay, we're going to start thinking about releasing. It's kind of like, oh no, what? We've been sitting around for like the past 4 months doing nothing. I was like, we should get on our game. So yeah, it was like before we even started shooting videos, we were like had to like regiment ourselves to start losing weight before we even started, because we were like, man, at least myself, I was like, I can't be on camera like this right now. So it's been an interesting year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say the least.
It's been a very weird year for sure. And I hopefully, like I said, hopefully we'll all get back out touring eventually. So fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to hear you guys' album when it drops next week though. Where can everybody find your record on May 7th?
Yeah, so you could just hit up sumocyco.com or Napalm Records. Also, we're available at Newberry Comics, so if people want to buy a signed copy there too, they can. All the links to all those places are on sumocyco.com, and the name is spelled SUMOCYCO. And of course, we also are on all social medias, so you can follow us there as well.
Yeah, and if you like our weird videos, you can go down the rabbit hole there. We have tons of them.
I'm going to be falling down that rabbit hole for sure. And if anyone's seeing this on YouTube or or listening on streaming, everything that they just said is going to be in the description. So you guys can just check out the links there. But yeah, thank you guys so much. It's actually been one of my favorite interviews I've done the last couple
wonderful. Thanks for having us.
Awesome. I really appreciate you spreading the word, and thanks for having us on your podcast. And yeah, send us the links and we'll share it around.
Yeah,
too.
message us anytime.
Definitely will. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
Thanks. Have a lovely day.
Bye.